All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys are not aware, Sony just recently filed a lawsuit against Tencent. Now, Tencent is a company that has their hands in a lot of pots, right? Tencent is a company that invests in a lot of other gaming studio companies in the hopes to eventually either take them over when they go under at a very cheap price, or hopefully they could get some nice royalties from investing into a company that might be struggling, just like Ubisoft. Well, Sony apparently is not happy with Tencent because Tencent has recently put out a game, or is working on a game, that looks eerily similar to Horizon Forbidden West. And everybody knows that Sony is relying on Aloy to being the character that carries their company. Well, I mean, used to anyway. Now Astrobot is going to be that character. But regardless, Sony holds Aloy very close to the chest. And obviously, they think that this is going to be something that might infringe on their copyright. Sony is going to sue them for copying the Horizon Zero series. And they filed a new lawsuit against Tencent, alleging that the upcoming title, called Light of Motiram, has ripped off elements from PlayStation's Horizon series of video games. Now, a lot of people are trying to say that Sony is pulling a Nintendo here. They're trying to say, well, just because it looks somewhat similar, this is not the same game, not the same gameplay, all that stuff. But obviously, when looking at the pictures, it's probably not going to look like that. You have to see the game play out in order to have a true understanding of just whether or not the game is different or not. Like, Sony doesn't own lush forests. Sony doesn't own anything like that. What Sony is really angry about is the robotic animals. But again, they're not the first ones to ever create robotic animals, right? So let's check out and see what's going on. Tencent unveiled its upcoming PC title, Light of Motiram, late last year, and many players immediately had something to say about it. As soon as the title was unveiled, it started being ripped apart on social media for being a blatant copy of Horizon Zero Dawn, which, by the way, these Chinese companies, they do have a habit of being very close to the chest when they're, trying to, I guess, either somewhat copy, slightly copy, or be inspired by other IPs. But PlayStation's hit action game, Horizon Zero Dawn from 2017, PlayStation is now addressing this issue in court with Tencent. So they must obviously agree with people thinking this game looks identical. According to a report by Reuters, Sony Interactive has filed a case against Tencent for copyright and trademark infringement in a California federal court. In this case, Sony has alleged that Tencent has created a slavish clone with Light of Motiram, which copies several distinctive elements from PlayStation's Horizon series. In the complaint, Sony also revealed that Tencent had approached them to collaborate on a new Horizon game last year. Oof, that's not going to be good. And this offer was ultimately rejected. Damn. So Tencent was like, okay, we can either do this together, or I'm going to do this on my own, bitches. That's basically what happened here. Following the rejection, Tencent announced Light of Motiram, which borrows elements from the Horizon series, including gameplay, story themes, and artistic elements, among others. The report reveals that Sony is seeking an undisclosed amount in monetary damages, along with an order that blocks Tencent from violating its intellectual property rights. Now, this is a huge, huge problem. It's a huge, huge deal. And obviously, like I said, Horizon Zero Dawn is something that is definitely held very close to the chest. I'm going to bring up the game right now and kind of compare screenshots and see what's going on here. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to react to the trailer and see exactly why they believe that this is violating their intellectual property rights. This is Light of Motiram from Tencent. Let's see exactly what's going on here. And I can kind of already see in the background, yeah, this might not look too good for Tencent.
Seethes with defiance. Thickens with dread.
Yo, Tencent really said, oh, you don't want to collab with us? That's fine. We're going to do it on our own.
It is where the Daramans cast out the unwanted.
So, okay, from a gameplay perspective, it's obviously a lot faster. It's obviously not gonna play like the same game, but from a visual standpoint, it's a little bit close. It's a little bit close. I can't lie to you.
Though trapped in this accursed place, the outcasts never forget. Their true home lies on the plains. The past will be...
Yeah, this game is going to play nothing like Horizon Zero Dawn. So from a gameplay perspective, I don't think they got to worry about it. I don't think they're going to have any sort of trouble, you know, in terms of a lawsuit or anything like that. But from a visual standpoint, I think that's where they're going to have perhaps a problem. It all comes down to just how good the copyright description of whatever they're claiming is being infringed upon is for Sony, especially with this particular game. And it all depends.
Rewritten.
And keep in mind, these are for the people who are currently, like, Sony's part of Bungie, so obviously Marathon is a big problem. Marathon's literal identity was stolen, so and they're currently going back to the drawing board to try to recreate the whole thing, and they want everybody to forget about it and sweep it under the rug. So let's not pretend like Sony and Bungie or any of these companies are under or like above, you know, stealing stuff or trying to pass it off as their own.
No. As the mists
this plays nothing like
of time.
nothing.
This journey will not be easy.
Honestly, it damn near plays like almost a Souls-like kind of action adventure game.
You'll need courage. Wisdom. The heart that craves battle. Fall or rise. The choice is yours.
I think it's going to come down to the machinery. That's what I think it's going to come down to. The machinery, I don't know what the copyright is for Sony's Horizon Zero Dawn. I have no idea. But the machinery is really where it's going to come down to. Honestly, I think
stay strong. Stay together.
I think it's distinct enough where they're not gonna have a problem. I think it's distinct enough where I think Tencent will be perfectly fine. Tencent has a lot of money and a lot of lawyers, and I'm sure this got looked over. I would hope anyway before it got put out. Doesn't mean that they're immune to lawsuits, obviously. Doesn't mean that they're going to immediately win in a lawsuit, obviously. But still, I think that this is at least fairly distinct enough where it's going to be fine. I really do. And I also think the genre is vague enough where it'll overall be fine.
And rise with new hope.
And keep in mind, this shit is going to be free to play. So for me, I'm not really super interested in this at all. I don't really have any stake in this game necessarily. I just find this to be interesting because we saw something similar happen with Power World versus Nintendo, and we know the hell that Power World is going through over the last, like, what, almost 2 years now this is happening. So this is going to be another situation just like this. So let me know in the comments down below, what do you think about this? Which side are you on? If you are on anybody's side, are you on Sony's side? Do you agree that this is basically a blatant ripoff? At first, it started to look like it, but as the game trailer progressed, I really don't. I think it's distinct enough. But you guys can let me know whatever it is that you decide in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching this particular video, and if you enjoyed it, consider hitting the like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys on the next one.